out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now. Yeah, I'm too up. Brown blew up. Copped that new rape on them haters. Threw up. Brother went to jail for them. Told me you up. First time I seen 100 bands, yeah, I grew up. Ooh, on the couches with my shoe up. And we was getting that record label money before they knew us. And we were blowing your budget in the club to the booth up. If your dog fall in your ball hog and get your whole crew up. Ooh, I'm with right now, I got you. Right now, nothing, need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now.
Okay, Coach, football, of course, back in L.A. and back at StubHub Center in Carson, California. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the New York Jets and the Los Angeles Chargers. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Lucky 56.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. A hit turned it over the middle. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
A first down throw, Darnold. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Again, Darnold. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Darnold. Hauled in by Anderson, left side. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran quarterback. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't tell us he's confident about his abilities, right?
That's true.
But when you're young, it's really important to get off to a good start because it does build up that confidence and allows him to play better as the game goes on.
Especially crucial here on the road. First red zone opportunity now for the Jets. 1st and 10 right at the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Forced out to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20, and his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
New York set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
To throw on second down is Darnold. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Leopard! Gone!
3rd and 2, Darnold throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Gets around him. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! 57 to 5.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep. Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Sidney Jones. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Gone! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Darnold from the gun. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. A play fake, and it's Darnold. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers getting set to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the colors you're throwing it to? And maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. Eluding the pressure right. Man open left side. It's Williams. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not at all.
Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
And he's taken down inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a second and 3. Remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. A first red zone opportunity here for the Chargers. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker.
Flex round! Flex round!
Back to the ground now with Gordon. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal. 1st down now, but that clock rolling.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. Melvin Gordon with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Chargers are able to make this a close game again. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to 2. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. New York set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Darnold on 1st down. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the 1st half. The Jets on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Gone! 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 Gone!
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Benjamin. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll throw now on the final play. Flushed it, and he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of his first half of play. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Flushed out right. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Ohio!
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. C.J. Mosley in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
Back there in that Philly, here we go! Gun!
On first and 10, Darnold. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle. The Jets on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Now, check. Patriot! Patriot! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun!
Darnold now to throw. And able to find Kirk complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, a 22. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On second down, Darnold. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. Call it a gain of 5, and they're going to have a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, a ball may come your way.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. The shotgun snap for Darnold. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, Barney!
They'll try and sneak it here. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Sam Darnold with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the posts. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and it's second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. Back to throw now on second and 10. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Big play coming up. Here's third and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, it's Darnold. He hits Herndon over the middle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They give him a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. A first down throw, Darnold. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. Sharp there with his feet, gets him a little extra space, and then drop just inside the 20. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Here's Darnold. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
It's a quarterback sneak. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
No gain? Quarterback sneak? No gain? Aren't you supposed to get something out of that?
Yeah, needed a full yard there. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry. 3rd down here.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deeper, and that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there, hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have made this a one-score game. Extra point attempt here still to come. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On 1st down, Darnold going for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet 1st down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? You're able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
Right back to him on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. Dancing to his left. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a 1st.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down right around the 16. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And Darnold wants to throw the football, eluding the pressure right. Oh, no, he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
So following the fumble recovery, here's Darnold. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Jets capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he's taken it all the way back for the return touchdown. And this game just got a little crazier. They're still alive here in the final stages.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And the Jets have got it. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now it's Carson. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe. And now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. The Jets with victory seemingly in hand. They take the knee. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. The Jets with victory seemingly in hand. They take a knee. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Jets, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the home team here, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
If the squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Yeah. Hey. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. 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 Same squad, same squad, same squad.